Okay, so I realized that this video is at a very, very strange angle. I can't really help that because if I put the video up any further, the sunlight behind me makes my face basically invisible. So, what can you do? I wasn't actually going to make a YouTube video, but I saw that the Bane had posted again after quite a long hiatus, so I thought, well, what the hell, I'll give it a shot. You know, all I ever do is blab about my personal shit anyway, so who cares. And I didn't want to post a video for a while. Probably, I don't know, the last couple weeks or something. Because I am once again in relapse mode, which I have very methodically planned out, very purposefully chosen. I'm not apologizing for it, and I'm not taking anybody's, oh my god, but you should get better because, or, oh my god, I'm so sorry, like, I hope you get better soon, and I don't want that anymore. I'm not interested in recovery at all. I feel like I've tried that about 1,000 times. It hasn't worked. And right now, it's just kind of like, you know what, things, like, were bad enough with the eating disorder, but then once I stopped having the eating disorder, you would think things would get better, which they did for a very short period of time, and then they got worse again. On top of all my other psychiatric shit, which most of you know about, I'll go down the list again, just in case someone is sort of new. I've been diagnosed with dysthymia, which is mild chronic depression, which basically I've had since I was like 15 years old. I would say I've had periods of remission from it, no more than a couple months long, and then I've just gone right back into it again. Usually people with dysthymia are pretty functional, so I got through high school fine. I got through like my first year or two, my first year of music school I got through fine, but then that was when the double depression set in, which is, all that means is that major depression comes in on top of dysthymia and makes life pretty much hell. So I started therapy because I was having a lot of performance anxiety, and I was in music school. You have to perform, like, there's no question about it. You have to perform. Like, it's not an option not to perform. So I went to one of the counselors at the University Counseling Center, and then we started digging into some deep therapeutic shit. And then my borderline characteristics / well, it was a personality disorder probably for about a year. Then I got the eating disorder, which I basically used to mute out the borderline, which made it into characteristics rather than the full-blown diagnosis. Now, I've also been diagnosed at points with anxiety. I think Dr. Rizvi wrote one time on my file, it was dysthymia with anxiety. I don't know. It was just a generalized anxiety, pretty much. I've always been anxious ever since I was a little girl. I've always had anxiety. Like, it's nothing new in my world. Fast forward a bit, I've had bulimia. I've had really what should have been diagnosed as anorexia a couple of times, except that I didn't meet the full criteria for it, so it was labeled as EDNOS instead. I've been at an anorexic weight. I've lost my period. Yada yada yada. I'm underweight right now. Not, grotesquely so yet, but I fully plan to lose more weight. And if you're thinking about posting, oh no, don't do that, blah blah blah, I don't want to hear it. You can post it. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm just saying, I'm being upfront. I have no intention of getting better right now. On top of all of that, past history, in the last year, I've been diagnosed also with avoidant characteristics. Avoidant personality disorder basically has to do with thinking that everybody is judging you, criticizing you, everybody might dislike you, and for me it involves I can't have people not like me, so I basically mute out all parts of myself that people may not like, and I become this like chameleon clone thing. And the other part about avoidant personality disorder is that when things get tough, you tend to avoid things. So, you know, if I'm having a conflict with a friend, a fight, whatever, I'll avoid the friend instead of dealing with the conflict. It's obviously not healthy, but it's like an ingrained method of dealing with things for me, because I just think, like, I have one fight with one friend and I think that everybody hates me and I just can't stand the pressure, the anxiety, the whatever, so I just avoid. And I think this has lately translated into what my psychiatrist has called agoraphobia, or maybe the start of it. Pretty much, it's very difficult for me to leave my house. This has been going on since early January, probably. Usually I go to the university and I visit my friends, and I was volunteering at an organization there even though I wasn't a student, really. Like, I technically was, but I wasn't doing the course because I was very mentally unwell. But I was volunteering and I was seeing my friends, and there was a choir I was going to once a week, and it's a great choir, and, you know, I was very happy to be in it, and I haven't gone to choir once since this began. I haven't gone and visited my friends at the university once. Pretty much, I do not leave my house unless I have to get groceries, or, I don't know, there was, oh, we'll see the doctor, yeah, that was the other circumstance. At least I don't leave by myself. It seems like it's easier when I go with someone, like, I know and trust. Like, I went out to Tim Hortons with my mother for coffee. That was okay for a while until, like, these people sat right next, like, at the table, like, right here, and I was just like, oh my god, that's, you know, I felt really crowded, and I was just like, want to get away, you know. But it's like when I contemplate leaving my house by myself, I just get terrified, and I don't even know why. Like, I don't know, I think everybody's staring at me, and, like, being, like, critically staring at me, like judging me, and, like, and I just get so overwhelmed by that thought alone that I don't go out. And then when I have to go out, it's kind of like there's all this noise, all the traffic, all the cars, all the random strangers hanging around, and when you're on the bus, it's full of strangers, and it's, like, cram-packed with, and the seats are so close together, and it's just like, ugh, like, I can't deal. So, pretty much, no matter whether I have an eating disorder actively or not, I'm, like, confined in my house, and pretty much not doing much of anything because I'm just too afraid. And I've never had this, like, I had this problem for, like, 4 days once, a long time ago. But now it seems to be more consistent, and I have no fucking clue how to deal with it. I haven't been in touch with my counselor from Manual House in forever, and frankly, I don't want to go down there. It's so full of people, and I'm not going to know anybody down there now, like, none of the residents, and everybody's going to be, you know, want to be all friendly, and I don't want to do the song and dance anymore. I'm fucking tired of it. I'm tired of trying to do the song and dance when I'm obviously not capable of doing it. Like, on top of everything else that made me basically incapable of schoolwork, now I've got this thing where I'm afraid to leave my fucking house. I mean, yes, I could do distance work, but I also have problems where I owe the university money that I probably shouldn't owe them because I didn't even get to do the course. I mean, school starts, I think it started this year around the 7th or 8th of September, and by about mid-September, I was hospitalized. So, you know, even if it had been an in-class course, I would not have gotten to go to, like, any of the lectures, maybe a couple of them. So I don't feel like it's fair to have to pay for a course I didn't do. It was a distance course, so it's not like the teacher ever did anything for me anyway. Everything he put up was for everybody's use, and, you know, I never emailed him, nothing happened at all. I don't know this man. The problem is that, you know, number one, I have to face this fear of leaving my house. I have to go over to the office of the registrar with people I don't know. I have to ask, how the hell do I drop this course? I don't know who the professor is. I've never seen his face. I don't know his name. And usually you have to get the professor and the department head to sign off so you can drop a course retroactively, like, and not get a 0. I simply cannot do that right now. And on top of all that, I probably have to go through some kind of song and dance to get the money part done, because it's not usual for them to either forgive debt or give any money back. Now, I wouldn't have, if I had paid it, I wouldn't expect the money back, but I didn't pay anything. I didn't pay for the course, I didn't buy the book, nothing. I didn't have the money. I was going to get the money, but I couldn't get the money from the people who would have given me money to do the course because I was too sick. So, basically, I would like them to forgive the debt. I have a note from my psychiatrist, you know, all that bullshit, but I just can't bring myself to go over. I just, you know, I can't deal with it. That's... And I really need to deal with it if I'm ever going to do Mon again. I mean, you can't register for courses if you owe any money. And I owe, according to them, like $200-something. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you only get, like, less than probably $600 a month total for all your groceries and bills and everything, $250-something or whatever, that's a lot of money. It's money I don't have. I can't pay off the university. I don't want to pay them off. I didn't even get to do the course. I was too sick. It doesn't make sense for me to have to pay a debt that really shouldn't be my debt, because I didn't, you know, I didn't benefit from anything that I was supposedly paying for. So, anyway. So I guess this update is just pretty much about my life. I sit in my house all day, and I'm on Tumblr a lot, and sometimes I watch TV shows that I torrent, or I watch, you know, my shitty channels. I used to have a lot more TV channels than I do now, but my special ran out that I had with VIP cable and light internet. So what ended up happening was that I ended up getting a better internet connection with more bandwidth and stuff, but really shitty TV channels. But it was supposed to be a little less expensive. It hasn't been so far. I don't know. I must have gone over my usage or something. I don't know. To be honest, I don't even really care. I've afforded the bill so far, and I'm not bothered. But anyway, I have like no TV channels, but it doesn't really matter because I can download pretty much anything I want to watch online, which is the whole point of getting the better internet connection. I think it's also faster too, but I don't know, I don't really notice that much of a difference, to be honest. But yeah, my life is really boring. I sit here and I restrict and I do my household chores, because if I don't, my landlord is going to be like, hey, we're going to have to move you out of this apartment because you clearly can't maintain it. Because last semester I was in crisis mode a lot, and the place really, really wasn't clean. And my landlords had to come over a couple times, and they saw the place was really, really not clean, and they served me with a letter saying, here are your options. So my choice was to stay here and attempt to keep it clean. If I get too unwell again, the problem is I'm not going to be able to maintain it. But I'm surprised by how much energy I still have at this point. Maybe because I was eating so well for quite a while before I relapsed or whatever. I don't know. I really feel like I made a deliberate choice to restrict again. Like, I feel bad calling it a relapse, because people who relapse, I feel like they don't actually choose it, and they're distressed by the fact that they're relapsing. But right now, to be honest, I'm quite perfectly content with restricting and losing weight, and I want to lose weight. You know, I just want to. It's just a number thing. I just want the scale to go down and go down and go down. That's it. You know, I'm not going to apologize for it, and I'm not going to be, oh my god, I wish so bad I was in recovery. I don't. I don't want treatment. I don't want any of that shit. I don't know. You can judge me for that if you want. I don't really care. Yeah, I think that pretty much ends it. Obviously, any questions can be directed to my comments section or whatever. Yeah, so see you all later.